Hello students, in this video we will study about human digestive system or digestion in humans. Actually we have to know about the process digestion. The process of digestion is the conversion of complex components of food into simpler ones. It means there are components of food, those are complex in structure and our body cannot utilize them directly. So with the help of some chemicals, or we can say enzymes, etc., our digestive system converts these complex components of food in simpler ones, and these simple forms of those components can be utilized by the body easily, and this is done by the system that is known as human digestive system. This human digestive system consists of two things. One is digestive tract or alimentary canal. This digestive tract or alimentary canal starts from our mouth and ends at the anus. So it is a long tube-like structure that starts from our mouth and ends at the anus. And along with this alimentary canal, the second thing is also there that helps in digestion, and these are the glands, and these glands are known as associated glands. These glands secrete some enzymes or chemicals. Those help in the digestion or conversion of the complex components of food into simpler ones, and these associated glands are liver, pancreas and salivary glands. In further section we will study that where is liver present, pancreas, location of pancreas, salivary glands, etc., and the type of chemicals or enzymes secreted by these associated glands and how they convert which type of the components of food. Those cannot be easily utilized by the body. And this digestive tract or alimentary canal starts from our mouth, and this part of alimentary canal that starts from mouth or is known as buccal cavity. So all of us we will study the buccal cavity, the first part of the alimentary canal. The first part of the alimentary canal or digestive tract is mouth, and inside part of our mouth is known as buccal cavity. So the first part of the digestive tract or alimentary canal is buccal cavity. Here in the diagram you can see that the inside part of our mouth is known as buccal cavity, and in this buccal cavity three special parts are there. Those help in digestion process. Those are teeth, tongue and salivary glands. So now we will study these three parts of the buccal cavity one by one. So all of first the teeth. As we know that in an adult person, human being, 32 teeth are present. during infancy, about the age of 6 to 8 years. At the age of 6 or more months, a set of teeth is developed, grow in our mouth during infancy. Those teeth are known as milk teeth. And during the age of 6 or 8 years, these milk teeth fall off and a new set of teeth are grown, and this set is known as permanent teeth. These teeth are arranged in our mouth, and these teeth are of 4 types: incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Now we will see that how these 4 types of teeth are arranged in our mouth. Now we will see the arrangement of different types of teeth in our mouth. Here in this diagram we shown this upper jaw and this as lower jaw, and the arrangement of different types of teeth. As we studied that 4 types of teeth are present in our mouth: incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Now we will see that how many numbers of these teeth are present in lower jaw and how many teeth are present in the upper jaw, and total teeth are how many. So all of first, incisors in lower jaw plus in upper jaw, and then total. So incisors are the teeth which are in the front part. So these 2 are incisors, and if we convert it into 2 parts, in that case these 2 are incisors and these 2 are also incisors. So 2 plus 2 in lower jaw, 4 incisors in lower jaw. Like this in upper jaw, these 2 are incisors and these 2 are also incisors. It means 2 plus 2, 4 in upper jaw, and total are 8. Now canines. Here we can see that this is canine in lower jaw, this is also canine. So in lower jaw, 1 plus 1, 2 canines, and in upper jaw this is canine, and here this is also canine in upper jaw. So 1 plus 1, 2, and total will be 4. After the third type of teeth is premolars. Here we can say that 2 premolars this side and 2 premolars are at this side. So 2 plus 2, 4 in lower jaw, and like this these 2 premolars in upper jaw, and like this these 2 premolars in upper jaw. 2 plus 2, 4 premolars in upper jaw, total are 8. Now fourth type of teeth, those are molars. In lower jaw, 1, 2, 3 molars in this side and 3 molars this side. So total 3 plus 3, 6 molars in lower jaw, plus here these 3 molars, and these 3 are also molars. So 3 plus 3, 6. So in upper jaw 6, total will be 12, and all the total teeth will be 32. Now these teeth do different functions in our mouth as we eat the bites of food, and these teeth can do different things, different functions as cutting of food, biting of food, then grinding of food, purging of food, etc. So these 32 teeth can cut, bite, grind, and tear. So these do the function of tearing, grinding, biting, purging, etc. And due to which food converts into small parts, and due to which food can be swallowed easily. In small parts it can be swallowed easily and cannot harm the tract or digestive tract or mouth part or inner lining of the mouth part. So these are the functions and types of teeth and how they are arranged in the mouth. Now next part is tongue. So now we will study about the next part, tongue. Now the next part that is present in our buccal cavity or mouth, that is tongue. Tongue is a muscular organ or muscular part that is attached to the lower part or the floor of our buccal cavity. This has about 2000 taste buds. So the main function of tongue is also about to tell about tastes. It means tasting of different tastes as sweet, salty, sour, bitter, etc. It has about 2000 taste buds. Other functions of the tongue: it helps to mix saliva with the chewed food. It also helps to swallow the chewed food easily because it helps in mixing of the saliva with chewed food. And now due to mixing of saliva, the food becomes soft and wet, and tongue helps in swallowing. It pushes the wet and soft food lumps in the esophagus or next part of the buccal cavity or the alimentary canal. It also helps in talking. So these are the functions of tongue. It is also an important part of our digestive system that is present in our mouth, and these are the functions of tongue. Now the third part that is present in our buccal cavity or mouth, those are salivary glands. These are present in our jaws or near our teeth, in our jaw part as bunches, and these salivary glands secrete some chemical, or we can say enzymes, and these enzymes are known as salivary amylase. This salivary amylase, that is the enzyme, it converts the starch into sugars. It means from salivary glands this enzyme salivary amylase is secreted and it converts the starch into sugars. In your textbook there is an activity that shows the effect of saliva or the enzyme that is present in the saliva on the starch, that how starch can be converted into sugars by the saliva that has an enzyme salivary amylase. For this, all of us we will take a test tube, name it as A, and we take starch solution. In this we take some amount, about 5 gram of starch powder, and mix it with 95 milliliter of water and make a starch solution. Then we add about 1 or 2 milliliter saliva to this test tube A. Now we take second test tube, name it as B. In this test tube we also take starch solution, but in this test tube we do not take the saliva. Now we add iodine solution to both the test tubes, and after that we see that in the first tube A and B we will observe, we set them undisturbed for 30 to 40 minutes, and after that time if we observe both the test tubes we will see that in the test tube B the color changed to blue black, but in this test tube A no color change. As we know that iodine solution gives the color blue black or dark blue with starch, and if starch is not there it does not change any color. So here in test tube A starch solution and we mixed saliva. So as we know that saliva converts the starch into sugars, and with sugars iodine solution does not change any color. Here starch is present but saliva it not mixed with it, so in that case starch is there, and we know that iodine solution gives blue black color with starch. In test tube A starch was also present, but saliva that has salivary amylase converts the starch into sugars, and with sugars iodine solution does not change its color or does not give any change in color. So by this simple activity we can say that here saliva do a function as it converts the starch into sugars. So by this activity we can confirm this test that saliva or salivary amylase converts the starch into sugars. Now in the alimentary canal digestive tract we studied this part that is known as buccal cavity, and in this buccal cavity teeth, tongue and salivary glands are present, and we studied the functions, location, etc. of these parts. And now the other part of the alimentary canal, that is a long tube like structure that is known as food pipe or esophagus. So we will study about this part of the alimentary canal or digestive tract. In this part, that is esophagus or food pipe, it is the next part of buccal cavity and it opens in stomach, and it is about 20 to 30 centimeter long pipe. From buccal cavity, food in small lumps pushed to this pipe, that is esophagus or food pipe. So how the pushing or movement of food takes place in esophagus or food pipe? This is done by a process that is known as peristaltis, and this is done by those peristaltic movements. How these movements takes place in the esophagus or food pipe, we can illustrate it. This is food pipe, and here from the buccal cavity, food as lumps, small lumps or bites, that is wet and soft, comes to the food pipe. So this part of the food pipe expands and food comes to here, and now this part contracts and next part of the food pipe expands, and now this food comes to here. Now this part contracts and here this part also contracts, and this food lump goes to the next part that is expanded, and in this way there is a rhythmic movement, expansion and contraction in the walls of the food pipe, and this movement of expansion and contraction is known as peristaltic movement, and this process is known as peristaltis. And this food pipe also has some rings like structures, and these rings are cartilaginous rings. In previous classes we studied about bones and cartilages. Cartilage is the part that is present in our ear, in our nose, and this is also in our food pipe and windpipe. This is due to these rings of cartilages. When food is not present in this part, there is not collapsing. To prevent collapsing, these cartilaginous rings are present in the food pipe. This food pipe opens in the next part of the alimentary canal, that is the stomach. So now we will study about the next part of the alimentary canal or digestive tract, that is stomach. It is the widest part of the alimentary canal. It is as inverted swollen U-shaped part. So here we can say that this part has sphincter muscles. Here at this part sphincter muscles are present, and these sphincter muscles help to prevent the movement of the lumps of food. It means this sphincter can control the continuous movement of food to the stomach. It means it opens and closes, due to which food reaches to the stomach as small lumps. It does not move continuously. So this is known as sphincter muscle. So this, and after this part, that is the widest part of the alimentary canal or digestive tract, is known as stomach. Functions of stomach: it secretes three things. It means secretion of HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, and function of hydrochloric acid: it kills off the germs, etc. The food that we eat may contain some germs or some microorganisms. So these germs, etc., can be killed off by the HCl, hydrochloric acid, that is secreted in the inner walls of the stomach. Next function of HCl: it provides acidic medium to the enzyme pepsin. The enzyme pepsin, previously it is secreted as pepsinogen, and this pepsinogen can convert the protein into amino acid easily if it is acidic in medium, or we can say in acidic medium it can functionize to convert the protein into amino acid, etc., easily. So this hydrochloric acid provides acidic medium to the pepsinogen, due to which it can convert it into pepsin, and this pepsin can convert the protein into amino acids. So it provides acidic medium to the enzyme pepsin, so that pepsin can easily convert the protein. Next secretion is mucus. Mucus is a substance that is secreted by the inner walls of the stomach, that is adhesive glue or gum-like chemical that is secreted, and this mucus prevents the inner lining from damaging. If we eat the food, and if this food lumps has some sharp parts, these sharp edges, sharp parts of the grains or food particles, etc., can harm the inner lining of the stomach. But there is a secretion of the adhesive type substance that is known as mucus at the inner lining of the stomach, and this inner lining is protected by this mucus from the damaging from the sharp edges, etc., of the food particles, etc., that may be present in the food. The third chemical that is secreted by the stomach is the enzyme pepsin, and this pepsin converts the proteins into amino acids. It means this enzyme that is secreted in the inner lining of the stomach, pepsin, it can convert the proteins into amino acids, and proteins are the complex components or complex structured compounds, and this pepsin can convert them as amino acids, and comparatively amino acids are simpler one, and those can be absorbed by the small intestine, or we can say absorbed by the our blood vessels, body easily, and can be utilized easily. After that, the next part of the alimentary canal, that is small intestine after the stomach, that we will study now. Here at this part, again a sphincter muscle is present, and this sphincter muscle controls the movement of food in the next part. So due to this contraction and expansion or closing or opening of this sphincter muscle, the food moves in the next part as small lumps, not continuously. And this part of the alimentary canal is a tube-like structure, and this tube-like structure is highly coiled. The next part of the alimentary canal after stomach is small intestine. Small intestine is highly coiled tube-like structure that is about 7.5 meter long. It is the longest part of the alimentary canal. It secretes various gastric juices to digest proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. It means its inner lining secretes various types of gastric juices which has different types of enzymes, and due to which all the components of food as proteins, fats and carbohydrates can be converted into their simpler forms to absorb, to assimilate easily. Its inner lining has villus or villi part. If we see, this is the tube-like structure, and its inner lining has finger-like projections, and these finger-like projections are known as villus or villi. Singular is villus and plural is villi, and these villus helps in absorption by increasing the surface area for absorption of digested food. For example, this is a pipe and digested food moves inside it. So this surface absorbs the digested food. So that total surface area is this. Now this surface area, if converted as, due to this, firstly it was the surface area for absorption, and now the area for absorption is this. So this area increases, and this increased area for absorption of food. So more absorption of digested food can be easily done. So the main function of villus is to absorb the digested food material from the small intestine, and this process of absorption of digested food is known as assimilation. The blood vessels or blood tubes are connected with these villus or linings of the small intestine, and the digested food moves and absorbed and then transported through the blood to the cells for its utilization. The digestion of food, or we can say food is completely digested in the small intestine, because its inner lining secretes various types of gastric juices, and it also receives the secretions from pancreas and secretions from liver. So now we will study the next part, liver. Liver is the largest gland of human body. It is present at right side of esophagus and stomach. It is reddish brown in color. It secretes bile juice. There is also a structure. If we show here a reddish brown colored structure, this is liver, and from liver bile juice is secreted, and this bile juice is stored in a sac-like structure, and through a pipe this secretion or bile juice is secreted in the small intestine, and this part is known as gallbladder. The bile juice is secreted from the liver and stored. Bile juice is secreted by liver and stored in gallbladder, and time to time from gallbladder this secretion or bile juice reaches or transported to the small intestine, and this bile juice converts the big globules of fat into smaller globules. It means the bigger particles of fats converted into simpler or smaller particles. This is known as emulsification, in which the bigger particles of fat converted into smaller particles, and these smaller particles converted into fatty acids by the enzymes secreted by the other part, that is pancreas. Pancreas is a leaf-like structure that is present below the stomach. It is a leaf-like structure present below the stomach. It secretes some enzymes as trypsin that converts proteins into amino acids. It also secretes another enzyme, that is lipase, and lipase converts the fats into fatty acids and glycerol. It also secretes pancreatic amylase that converts the carbohydrates into simple sugars. It also secretes an hormone, the hormone that is insulin. Insulin regulates the amount of sugar in blood, and if its secretion decreases, in that case insulin is injected in the body. So now we can see that in the small intestine food is completely digested, because it itself secretes various types of enzymes or chemicals. It receives the enzymes from liver or gallbladder. It also receives the secretions from pancreas. So all type of enzymes are present in this small intestine, because the enzyme secreted by its walls, it also receives the secretions from the pancreas and liver. So food is completely digested in small intestine. At the below of this small intestine, there is a finger-like structure that is known as appendix. Appendix is a vestigial organ. When human beings are not developed and do not eat the food after cooking or boiling it, in that case they eat raw grass or plant parts, though that plant parts has cellulose, that is complex carbohydrate and cannot be converted easily. So in this part, that is known as at that time cecum. In this cecum, certain type of bacteria are present, and these bacteria secrete some specific type of chemicals, and these chemicals can convert this or can digest this cellulose easily. But due to development at this time, we do not eat the raw grasses or plants. We eat them after cooking, after boiling. So cellulose already converted into the simpler forms by cooking. So there is no need of this part cecum. So slowly this part becomes very small, and now this is present as a organ. That shows that at a time it was developed and very usable, but now there is no use of this organ. So this type of organs are known as vestigial organs, and this is also one of them. If we eat different types of grains, etc., and smaller particles, if reaches to this part becomes swollen and it becomes poisonous, and if it bursts, these poisons can spread in the body and the person can die. So this condition is known as appendicitis. And in that case it is cut and removed. After that, after the small intestine, here also a sphincter muscle. Now food is almost digested, but it has some useful components as salts, some enzymes, water, etc. So to absorb these things, it now pushes to a next part that is wider than small intestine, but in length it is less lengthy. This part is large intestine. Large intestine is wider than the small intestine. Its inner lining has finger-like projections as villi to absorb enzymes, salt and water, etc. So in large intestine, the useful things, those may present in the digested food that is pushed from the small intestine to this large intestine. It may has enzyme, salt, water, etc. So these villi which are present in the large intestine absorb these salts, enzymes and water, etc. And now this food that has the undigested food material that is pushed to the next part, and this next part is known as rectum. And in rectum, the waste material, undigested food material undigested waste or food that is as fecal matter is stored, and through the anus time to time due to urge it is released outside the body. So in this structure we can say that how the food is chewed, made wet and swollen, goes to the esophagus or food pipe, then to the stomach, then small intestine. Small intestine also receives the secretions from the liver, pancreas, etc. And now this food goes to the large intestine, then to the rectum, and through the anus it is released. So different types of components which are present in the food are getting digested and absorbed by the blood vessels and goes to the cells, where this glucose by the process of respiration converts into energy or provides energy.